You might have heard that live shopping is exploding. And I have to tell you, I have been on Whatnot for a couple of weeks now, and I see why it is. Now, Whatnot is my sponsor, and they are the reason I got on the platform and checked it out. I'm glad they did. They made it easy for me. I'm going to make it easy for you. I love it. Whatnot is where you get great products without paying full price. It's that simple. I'm hooked on their live shows, too. You got to see them. They're so much fun. And I see why Whatnot has climbed to the top of the App Store. And listen, if you're selling online, or maybe you have a storefront and you're hoping people will find your listing or maybe walk in your store, Whatnot flips that, because on Whatnot, you go live and you sell directly to people in real time. And I may admit, although you didn't hear from me, I may have picked up a couple of power tools or so in the past couple of days. I'm just saying. Whatnot, it's the largest dedicated live shopping platform with beauty, collectibles, electronics, luxury, fashion, even cookies, and anyone can sell. In fact, people who sell on Whatnot sell 10 times as much as any other major marketplace. That's because you're not just listing products, you're building real connections with buyers. So whether you're shopping or you're selling, download the Whatnot app today and get free shipping on your first order. Just search WHATNOT, Whatnot, in the App Store and start scoring amazing deals. So I was whining to my wife the other day, said, I need new glasses. And she said, well, get some. I couldn't tighten them anymore. They were scratched. You know the thing, right? But I didn't want to go through the process because you have to make the appointment. You have to spend weeks to get them done. And you got to pay a fortune, right? That's real. But I did. I spent $500 on frames and glasses, and that was cheap. And then I ordered a pair from my sponsor, Zenni Optical, for $70. Zenni is an online eyewear shop, prescription glasses, sunglasses, blue light lenses, starting at under $30. You go to Zenni.com, you pick a frame, upload your prescription, and they ship it to your door. No appointment, no store, no upsell at the counter. And by the way, if you are saying, do I really need new glasses, or do I have to put up with one pair to do everything I need to do for the next 2 years? No! You can get what you want starting at under $30. And if you've never bought glasses online, don't worry about it. I haven't either. Zenni has a virtual try-on so you can see exactly how the frame looks before you commit to buying them, with no salesman looking at you saying, those look good, but these expensive ones would look better. No, you don't get that. I'm excited. I can't wait to get my Zenni glasses and tell you more about them. If your glasses are overdue for a refresh, now's the time. Go to Zenni.com/podcast and use the code podcast15 for 15% off your first order. The styles sell out, so don't sit on it. That's Zenni.com/podcast. Promo code podcast15. What's happening? Happy Friday. John counted Fridays for me one time. John used to pick up the phone and call me occasionally out of the blue. I'll be driving down the road in my car. I have no idea how I got my cell phone number. I don't really care. But he'll call, end up with the greatest conversation. And no matter what day it is, I'm usually saying, Happy Friday, John. So today we're talking about mentors. I guess in a sense, I'm a bit of a mentor for John. It's awesome. And how mentors find you. One of the biggest questions I get all the time is, Scott, how do I get a mentor? Would you be my mentor? Sure. At least for 9 minutes today. We can go from there if you want. We'll talk about that in just a few minutes. It is the Daily Boost from motivationtomove.com, the positive boost you need every single day. Life begins when you move. It's been a conundrum to me from the day I was nearly born. I was probably 15 or 16 years old. When I got old enough to start wanting to do things my own way and start to have dreams and desires and ambitions, it became, what do I really mean by that? I mean, does it really satisfy me? And then once I got in the real world, I was like, this sucks. Seriously, I was like, the real world was like, once you got out in the real world with all your dreams and passions and trying to do the things that make you happy, and suddenly all these adults are so serious about everything. Hey, you notice that? I was working when 18, 19 years old, and I just couldn't believe how serious people were. My God, I know they had big buildings and businesses they had to pay money for, and I better do my job. I didn't get it, so why can't I just do my thing? So I guess my life has become about do my thing. And in the past 20 years has been about doing that exactly what I like to do and the way I like to do it, and try to contribute to the world the best way I know how to do, and to, if I can, help you do your thing. Will I do that today? Why not? We can do that. My name is Scott Smith, founder, chief motivating officer here at motivationtomove.com. So happy to have you here today, and the camera's still turned off. A whole week without the camera turned on in the studio. Those YouTube people, they're going to be wondering where I went. And I'm kind of following my bliss here. I've done this before, by the way, and I'm very close to making this permanent. And I share this with you because sometimes you do the things that you feel like you got to do to grow the business. And sometimes you do the things that, the world tells you need to do. And sometimes it's not right for you. And so you pull back to the 80-20 rule. You work on the 20% of things that are you're good at, you love to do, you do in flow state, you have a great time. And to me, that doesn't include a camera in my face when I'm recording a podcast. So old school podcast or audio, this one's going to stay that way. Oh, did I say that out loud? I think I just made a public declaration, didn't I? Did I introduce myself? Doesn't matter. You can figure it out. Fridays always ask the question, how do I want to feel? There's a reason for asking this question because, in fact, I will tell you this whole week started when I started talking about dropping the camera out of the studio. It started when I said, I don't like this. How do I want to feel? And the very first thing I said is I want to feel like I walk in the studio and do what I'd love to do and just go into that zone, just do my thing. Isn't that funny how I just found my place right back where I wanted to be, all because I asked the question, how do I want to feel? And I'll share the story with you along the way. I'm not going to lie to you. Scott, you could do it. I could do it, but I don't have fun with it. You need to ask that question, how do I want to feel? I don't know what you're going through today, but I know part of it's crap. I got that figured out. And most of that is self-inflicted. So when you take a few minutes and ask yourself, how do you want to feel? You only have one answer you can give yourself. I'm not going to tell you what that answer is going to be, but it's going to feel good. So ask the question today. Let's talk about mentors. I know Google's good. I know YouTube is really good. I can learn so much on YouTube. Use it for that all the time. Google, I'm a better Googler than most people. That's basically the qualification for doing my work, being able to Google and find stuff better than you can and then synthesize it down to cool things. I know that's how we do stuff, but it's not the best way to go. The best way to go is to have a mentor, because a mentor can teach you from life experience all the things that you really need to know. People always ask me, how do I get a mentor? Well, I guess you can outright ask for them, but sometimes that doesn't work out. A lot of years ago, I was looking for a mentor. I was going to find myself one. So I had a meeting with Larry. And I wanted to know why, in this meeting with Larry, why everything was moving so slowly. Larry was a mentor of mine. I didn't know it at the time. I just thought he was a guy giving me money. I was in my mid-20s. He owned a business. He gave me a job. He had an exceptional living. And he hired me to work and do some stuff for him, took me under his wing, and really took care of me. I'll be honest. He paid me more money than I've ever had before. He sold me one of his really nice cars and became the bank for me because I couldn't afford to buy a car like that. I didn't have a computer to do the job he wanted me to do, and I didn't have a laser printer at the time when they were really expensive, and he bought a $5,000 laser printer for me and let me pay it off. This guy gave me a big step up in the early days, doing some things that helped me learn some of the skills I have now. You wonder why I write little things like the Daily Click and Scott Logic and short stuff. I used to write short stuff for him. I learned how to do that. But Larry was a mentor of mine. But like I said, I didn't see it that way. I saw as a guy who, I did this for you, you give me money. That's it. That's the thing about being young. Bright-eyed, a dreamer, lots of talent, very little patience, and certainly no respect for anybody who gives you money. Just give me the money. Easy to see what others have, isn't it? And set an arbitrary date on the calendar. You're going to go get that. And expect everything to go your way. So when I pinned Larry in his office, pretty easy to do. He was very open-doored to me, friendly guy. Like I said, really took care of me and really made my life very, very different at a time when I had young kids. And I appreciate it. I don't know if I did then, though, but I do now. I pinned him in his office, and I think I was making my best case for a raise. I'm sure I was, as a matter of fact, because I just knew he had gobs of cash. He had fancy cars, a big office. He had employees and everything else. And I just wanted to give me some money. And Larry said something that changed everything for me at the time. He said, sometimes you must keep showing up long enough for the right people to notice you. Keep doing a good job. Eventually they'll notice, and eventually they'll step up. Some people say be so good they can't ignore you, and I guess that's part of the case. And Larry was already stepping up. I didn't know it at the time. He had already noticed me. He was already stepping up, but I was too stupid to know it. He was already being very generous. He had already noticed the talent that I had, which is why he was setting me up to succeed. I did not know it was happening. How many times have you not known it's happening when somebody was doing it for you? So you probably have lots of mentors, and maybe you don't know you had them. I just didn't know that. I wouldn't say I liked his answer at the time. I probably didn't because I didn't know how to deal with it. I'm also sure I stomped out of his office and gossiped about him in the kitchen and probably complained about not having enough money that week. Over the years, though, I have noticed there's a hidden layer of very successful people all around me. They were keeping an eye out for somebody just like me. Larry is right. I also learned another thing. I learned that sometimes the mentors that can help you are not helping you the direction you want to go. They're nice and they see talent in you, and sometimes they think you'd be so good at that, and you get on that train, and 10 years later you're doing it in another direction. So the key here is to be so good at what you do, specifically in what you do, so that people who need specifically what you become a master at notice you and say, I need you to do what you do. Maybe for me, I can help you get better at what you do. So you can ask anybody to help you, and maybe they will, maybe they won't. But if you do your job exceptionally well, others are going to find you, and they're going to step up, and they're going to try to give you an opportunity for you to let them mentor you. And as long as you vet it out and you make sure it's in the right direction and taking you on your right path, and sometimes I don't think you can do that. And the reason I don't is because sometimes God puts a path in front of you. You've got to go through this to get to that. But oftentimes, going through this to get to that is a waste of time. Why take a job to pay the bills when you should just go exactly what you want? Well, Scott, because I need to pay the bills. Yeah, but you won't ever get what you want if you don't go right to it. I promise you, the minute you commit to go to it, you'll get there. I got off track a little bit there with a whole nother podcast. I'm sorry for that. But the truth is this, that if you do what you do best and put it out there, somebody's going to notice you. And when together you figure out that, wait a second, we can form a nice little collaboration here. I can learn. You can learn from me. Together we can do some very cool stuff. You'll find yourself listed up and on the way to what you want. It's called exploring the possibilities of life. But then you have to tap on the other part of it as well. And that is get the connections in life. You need both. You need the exploratory part of you, and you need the connection part of you. It are the connections that will take you where you want to go. It has to be the right connection, so pay attention. It's not just any connection. There's a reason we don't all have 5,000 friends in real life. Oh yeah, we only have 5,000 friends on Facebook Live, don't we? Who was that? I don't remember that. You recommend who to me? One question on the Facebook thing, I'm just always wondering these days. Listen, I'm a good guy on Facebook. I don't go digging for things I shouldn't be going to, but why am I always seeing women in bathing suits fishing? It used to be just the cute cats. Now it's the women in bathing suits fishing, usually with a pole, reeling it in. It's in a bathing suit. Oh, don't get me wrong, it's awesome. Hey, Scott Logic. Go get scottlogic.com. Get my daily email. You're going to love it. I promise that. If not, you just unsubscribe. No worries there. And if you would like this show commercial free and you're not already getting it, you need to become a Daily Boost Premium member. Just go to dailyboostpremium.com. A couple of bucks a month. No more commercials. Easy peasy.